So yeah, I was having problems with the button. Yeah, it just wasn't really kind of working as I expected. I was speaking to one of my fellow CRT hackers, Mark, and he suggested that maybe we try and do something like maybe do a delay before I send the signal and keep constant power into the Arduino. So at the moment, constant power is going into the Arduino. Obviously, I've got that hooked up to my USB port at this point. Let's just take that out. Take that out. But yeah, so you'll see that we've got power coming straight out of the VDP and into powering up the Arduino. And yeah, you can see we've got stable RGB. It doesn't seem to drop out. As soon as I take it out of circuit, as soon as I take power off that Arduino, I don't know what happens, maybe some grounding or something like that, but it seems to start playing around and causing the RGB to drop out. So what I've done is I've set it up so that there's like a delay at the start, and it will wait a certain amount of time after boot before it starts to send the message. So the idea would be you plug the TV in, you put it into the right AV mode, and then you wait for it to switch over to RGB, and it will sort of takes about, I think it's 50 seconds. So I'll show you what that looks like. See if we can't make it happen again. So I'll unplug power, take that out, plug it back in. So we obviously wait until the TV is powered up. You see the Arduino has got power, and then I'll put it into AV mode 1. You'll see that we're in composite, and we just wait. And hopefully it will just go into RGB. I'll have to lower that time a bit. Maybe it's not going to. No, there you go. So yeah, probably will lower the timer a little bit. It doesn't need to be that long. But yeah, you can see it has basically jumped into RGB and it's staying in RGB. So, I mean, I guess the benefit of this kind of a hack is that there's no need to put any kind of switches or wires or anything like that in it, which is kind of nice. But the downfall is that, you know, like if it gets out of RGB, the only resort is to turn it off and on, turn the TV on and off again. So, I mean, maybe what I would do is look to have a switch, like a toggle switch, where you can turn it off and turn it back on again, and that would in theory resend the message. The benefit of that might be like if you kind of miss that opportunity to switch it to AV mode first. If you do miss that opportunity to switch it to AV mode, it will not have sync. So I'll show you what that looks like. I'll take out power again. So you see, we get our standard blue screen. We just wait for it to yeah, definitely could lower that time, I think. Plenty of time to switch into AV mode. There you go. So you can see it's jumped into RGB mode, but there's no sync. This is a bit of a problem as well, because the service menu, unless you have a proper factory remote, you have to basically put the TV in standby mode before you can go into the service menu, and that's annoying, because then if I try and go into service menu mode, I can't select AV, and I certainly can't select RGB, because I'll get this. So yeah, I mean, maybe there's some opcodes in the i2c that can make it pick up. Maybe I can make it pick up the sync from the incoming composite sync. Not sure, but yeah. So I mean, look, to show you what the program kind of looks like, it's pretty straightforward, really. I mean, yeah. So all it does really is just, there's that big sort of delay at the beginning. The setup step is the stuff that gets run. It gets run once, and then there's a loop. So all I do is I've turned on serial, because I was just checking the serial output of the Arduino just to see if it was definitely doing stuff. It begins i2c, which obviously enables i2c communication. I'll set the speed on the communication to false, which means it's low speed. Pull up, apparently it's got internal pull up. I don't know if it does or not. I certainly don't have any resistors in series or in the circuit, so I mean, I guess I don't need them. I set this timeout to 10. That seemed to, when I was sniffing the packets, it seemed to show the correct sort of the correct messaging, i2c messaging with the bus part when I was sniffing the messages. So this is the pin mode setting for the A0 pin to be a digital pin. So obviously at this point that's setting it to high. This is what disables the MICOM. Then this is my loop. So 15 times it sends a message. Starts the i2c message. Sets the address to 138, which is 8A, which is the VDP. I was sort of writing out the output of that response message to the serial port. Don't really need to do that. Then this is register 49. This is the bit mask to enable RGB, and this is the bit mask to enable the OSD and ensure that it has the priority over the RGB signal, and then stop. And then of course, once it's finished that little blast of 15 of those messages, it turns the MICOM back on, and that's kind of it. So yeah, I mean, like to make the change to that speed, like, I don't know, maybe if we dropped it down by half, probably get away with half. So all I need to do is put this to 30,000 milliseconds, which I guess is 30 seconds. So we'll save that. I'll just upload it to Arduino. So let's plug this into, plug it in. So that's now plugged in. And then just upload the sketch. See some lights go a bit funny, perhaps. Yep. And because it's still in RGB mode, but not in AV mode, it's not going to work, right? So, I mean, I guess if I put it into, yeah, I guess because I've sent the stuff across, it's eventually going to jump into RGB mode. Because sending the message across, sending the program across the Arduino effectively resets it. So it's going through that countdown. There you go, 30 seconds, and then it's jumped into RGB. So just one more time, let's see what it looks like when we do a reset TV. Oh yeah, that's because I've got power to the Arduino right now. Probably shouldn't have that. Let's take it out. Stick it into AV mode. I'm sure we can see our glorious composite video. We wait for our 30 seconds to happen. Boom. So, I mean, okay, I think that's quite a good compromise. I mean, I can like quite literally just solder these up. I don't even need to solder them up. I could just like use DuPont connectors and actually just connect them straight up the way that it is right now. Put the little Arduino, you know, put it in here somewhere, and then just have it resting up against here, secured somehow. And it would be a completely self-contained thing. And as you can see, like it's staying in RGB. Yeah, there you go. I think that's a reasonably good hack. Cool.